Steven Can't Cook, another episode of cooking stuff. So today we're making a noodle bar, and this is inspired by these vermicelli, kind of like cold salad noodle bowls. And we're gonna have 3 different protein choices that I'm gonna whip up and show you how we get this going, especially during the summer. If you have a big family or if you want to meal prep for the rest of the week, this is a great way to spend about half a day cooking, but you'll have food ready for the whole week or for a big family to be fed. All right, first we're gonna start on our turmeric fish. And this is some cod that I got from Costco, but you can use any white fish, tilapia, sway, whatever you want. But the cod is the best option for us, especially when we go to Costco often. So cut it into bite-sized chunks, and then we're just gonna marinate it with some garlic powder, turmeric, ginger powder, and this right here is koji. It's like a fermented sweet rice, and it just adds another layer of sweetness and umami. It's not a must, but if you have it, it's very good. And then some fish sauce, a little bit of salt, since the fish is already kind of salty, and a touch of sugar to balance everything out. And yeah, just mix that up, set it aside. This is going to be our turmeric fish marinade. Next up, we have some chicken thighs here. You can use chicken breast, chicken tenders, whatever you want. Hit it with some garlic powder, some minced lemongrass. This is some oyster sauce, fish sauce, black pepper, a little bit of salt, and some sugar. Marinate this up for our chicken. Next is our pork. We have pork loin here, so it's very lean. But again, you can use pork shoulder, pork butt, picnic pork, pork belly. Slice her down. What I've noticed with the loin is it's really dry and powdery, but obviously there's no fat to kind of marble in, but it's a healthier alternative if that's something you're looking for. And then we're going to hit it with some more fresh lemongrass on this. I keep them frozen so we can use them when we need to. And then we're going to add some oyster sauce, fish sauce, black pepper, and a little bit of sugar. In Vietnamese cooking, that's the trio right there. We're gonna hit it with some Maggi seasoning, some smoked paprikash from Hungary. Shout out Janos. I still have this paprika that you brought from the motherland. And then this is some gochujang paste to add some more sweetness and umami to the chicken. But the Vietnamese trio is oyster sauce, fish sauce, and sugar. So that goes into most of our marinades for grilled meats and whatnot. All right, and we're done marinating our meat. A few hours to overnight would be best. And then next we're gonna make a big batch of nuoc mam. So we're gonna start off here with about 6 tablespoons of sugar. And you can make a batch of this and it'll last in the fridge for like half a month if it gets there. And then we're gonna go 1 to 1, so about the same amount of fish sauce. I'm just eyeballing everything for this container we're using. I'm using the Red Boat brand, the cleanest of all fish sauce. And then we're gonna add some high quality hot H2O to kind of blend up and melt that sugar and release some of that aromatics in the fish sauce. And then we're gonna do a juice of 1 full lemon from Mama Chow's Gardens. Pretty big lemon, but you can kind of adjust it to your taste. About 1 big lemon here, or like 3 medium-sized lemons. And then I'm gonna add some minced garlic and some minced jalapenos just for color. It's not even that spicy, but you can add like Thai chilies if you want the spicy level to be higher. But since Kim doesn't eat too much spice, we just add the jalapenos kind of for texture and a little bit of kick. All right, so let's get this into the oven. We're gonna get it on our wire rack tray, and I'm throwing this in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Get a nice spread on this. And I think this was about like 25-30 minutes, but just check on it. It's gonna cook really fast. And then we're gonna set this aside. And then our thịt nướng, also known as barbecue pork, is finished. And then next I'm just gonna use the same tray. I'm gonna put the chicken thighs on. Same thing, 450 degrees for about 20-25 minutes with the chicken. And then we're gonna set this aside, and we're just gonna cut it up with some scissors later before we serve. All right, for the fish is a little different. We got some beef tallow into our pan here. And then we're just gonna sear both sides real quick. The fish cooks really fast, so just get a nice little char both sides. Literally like maybe a minute and a half on each side. This cooks really fast. You don't want to overcook it. Just a little bit of char, and then we're gonna take everything out and into the same pan with all the drippings and the goodness that's stuck to it. We're gonna add some sliced yellow onions that we have, and we're gonna scrape off all that goodness from the bottom of the pan and kind of saute our onions in them. And this is kind of like its dish in its own, but I'm just kind of having a variety of protein since we're gonna pack up 1 week's worth of lunches and dinners and whatnot. So we're gonna add our fish back in on top of the onions, and this here is a must. It's fresh dill, and this is a very classic Vietnamese dish called chả cá, là vong, chả cá, thang long, and it's just turmeric fish. Very simple, but very good. And the dill is very fragrant. It's a must, but if you can't find it, it's fine. All right, let's set up our noodle bar here. So we have our proteins that you saw. We have our vermicelli noodles that cooked and drained and set aside. We have our fish, chicken, pork. We have some fried shallots. We have our fish sauce. We have some crushed peanuts. We have some fresh basil, cilantro, bean sprouts, nice julienne cucumbers, shredded lettuce, and some homemade pickled carrots and daikon. And it's time to serve. That dark sauce over there is a very stinky fermented fish sauce. It's called mắm ruốc. And I didn't show you guys that because probably a lot of people won't enjoy that sauce, but Kim does, surprisingly, so I made that. It goes really well with the fish. So get your noodles into the bowl. You guys can use whatever veggies you have laying around. Just to give you an idea, it's kind of like a Chipotle at home for vermicelli bowls. And if you want, you can use rice instead of noodles and make rice bowls, which is what we're doing to pack up lunch and dinner for the week. Gotta add those pickled carrots and daikon. I have a video where I make it. You can watch it if you want to learn how to make the famous Vietnamese pickled carrots and daikon. I'm doing a combo one with all 3 different proteins. I think Kim is just doing fish on hers because she was craving it. That's why I made it. Make sure you add your crunch. The shallots and peanuts really is a game changer. It adds a nice crunchy texture to each bite. So colorful, so refreshing, especially during the summer. This is how you do it. You're gonna have a party, just set everything up. Make everybody make their own food. If you're picky, you don't want this, you don't want that, perfect time to go make your own bowl. I'm gonna add a little bit of fish sauce to mine. some nukmam. The jalapenos weren't even spicy at all, so it's just for texture and color. And Kim's gonna do the stinky fermented shrimp paste sauce. That I've mixed up. And yeah, just enjoy. We had a few bowls for dinner, and then we made a bunch of rice bowls for lunch and dinner for the rest of the week. So very affordable, very fun if you have kids and whatnot. If you're inviting friends over, great time to get everything together. So once again, everybody, thank you guys for watching. What shall we cook